everybody, and welcome back to the Marketer's Blueprint podcast. I am your host, Nathan Gibson, and of course, I have with me again Mr. Gabe Arnold. Gabe, how's your week been?
Fantastic. It's been a productive week. Had some new projects we've started. I've got to meet with a handful of clients, which is always my favorite. And so lots of good things. I couldn't be more grateful.
Yeah, from the business perspective, everything's been going great. I've been having super good conversations and trying not to get blown away by these storms in the Midwest recently, but we're all safe and good besides all this spring rain. But anyway, folks, we have a great episode planned for you today, and I want to start out with a question to all of you watching or listening from home. So think about this for a second. If you came across your own offer today, would you buy it immediately? No second thoughts, no anything. Would you on the spot buy it? Is it that valuable? And if you hesitated, even for a second, there's probably room for improvement. That's the candid, stone cold truth. The best offers make people say yes without thinking twice. That's the truth. If you're not 100% sure that your offer does that, Gabe and I today are going to break down about 6 things that can make an offer irresistible so that you can tweak yours for maximum impact. Because we want to make sure that your guys' offer is incredibly valuable. We've talked about this before. So I'm super excited for this today, Gabe. But first, of course, I have a marketing minute for you. We'll let Gabe take the mic for a minute and see what is on his mind today.
Yeah, when it comes to creating a valuable offer, there's so much we're going to share with you and so much you can learn today, and there's so much out there that you can find around creating offers. But one of the fastest ways to test your offer is to write it down on 1 or 2 pages and go out face to face in person in the real world and make the offer to people, because that is the fastest way that you will get rejections, objections. You will get, real-time feedback. And so if you're starting out with something brand new, yes, you can spend hundreds or thousands of dollars in ads to test it. Yes, there's a bunch of ways to test it. But I always encourage people, especially when you're in early startup phase of an offer or a business, go out person to person. If people will buy it from you in person, then you have an offer worth developing and improving. If nobody wants to buy it after you talk to 25 or 50 people in person, then you need to rethink your offer. And I know that's a hard line and a hard path to take, but I always encourage people to take the hard path easy, and everything afterward will be easy.
I couldn't have said it better myself. It really reminds me of, honestly, your catchphrase at this point, and it is the truth, and that is your customers are your truth in your business. There is no greater period. There is no greater truth within your business than the people who you show up and serve and sell your products to. And so if you can go out and get that real world feedback from those people, that's incredibly valuable for your business. So I love that one for today. And it ties into what we have for you guys today. So it begs the question that we're going to answer. How do you know if you have a good offer? We've seen so many business owners over the last 18 years struggle with this. That's why one of our main things that we do on the first side of working with clients is help them with their offer. So before you invest too much time and money into marketing, you need to make sure that your offer checks some of these boxes. And I'm going to get your opinion on a few of these, Gabe. The first one is it solves a costly problem. A strong offer isn't just nice to have, right? It fixes a real pain point that's actually afflicting them at this time. And it usually is a problem that's actively draining time and money from your audience, right, Gabe? So I wanted to get your opinion on how a really, really good offer can solve a costly problem for a business.
Yeah, absolutely. And you touched on, like, the simplest explanation of value is that it saves people time and it saves them money. And you can invert that too. If it gives people time or gives them money, it's, 2 sides of the same coin. When somebody looks at your offer, they should know, oh, if I buy this educational product, I'm going to learn faster, be more successful in solving my problem, or if I sign up for this coaching or consulting, then I'm going to be able to get to my destination faster and it won't cost me as much in time and money failure. Or, here's this product I need, it's going to help me get to the result faster. So it's always about how much time can we save and how much money can we save. Or expanding time is when you hire a team of people to do something for you. You're expanding time. Or making money is like, here's a process to make more money. It all falls into the time and money category. And so if you don't have a really clear obvious explanation of how your product or service is going to do that, save time or money or make time or money, then that's the first thing to look at, because that's the root of all offers. It doesn't really matter what industry or space you're in. Virtually all offers will come down to, is it valuable, and is it valuable in how people are perceiving it? Is their ability to see clearly, like, if I do this, I will get a better result of, more time, more money, or save time, save money.
Yeah, and those are the unquestionable two most valuable assets to a business owner is saving time and saving money. Arguably more the time part. I speak to so many business owners every day that their main problem is they're so strapped for time. That's often right at that right time where we partner up with people, is to save them that amount of time. They're growing in their business healthily and they don't have time for all of the things that they were once doing. And so that's when you hire team members, talk to marketing specialists, so on and so forth. And the same can be implemented into your offers. So I love that. And the next point ties really well into that, and that is the value is crystal clear. If somebody has to think too hard about why your offer is worth it, they'll move on. We talk about that a lot, about how there's so many resources and so many things that people can invest their time into. If they have to think too hard on it or spend too much time on it, they'll likely move on to the next thing. So, in my opinion, your value proposition should be so obvious that your ideal customer immediately sees how it benefits them, right?
Yeah, and I always think about an offer as a bridge from the state you're in now. You're on this side of the river and you don't want to be there, and you're wasting time or money, you're uncomfortable, and where
Mm-hmm.
you want to be is across the river. And when we think about clarity of the offer, you don't want your bridge to be so steep that they can't see over the bridge to the promised land. And you want to make it really a clear path, clear vision. And so emotion in our offer of like really using language and messaging and imagery and video and all the tools we have, emotion will help people be inspired to cross the bridge, but they have to logically see that it's safe, that you have all the components and all the pieces. So it's the mixture of emotion to inspire them to take the step and go ahead, and that it's going to feel safe. But then logically, you have to, have the structural support in the offer that says, yep, this is going to feel good. I'm going to tell you the story of what's going to happen when you make this transformation and change your business, your life, whatever you want to change. But here's the mechanical, logical pieces that are in place. So it's a mixture of the right inspiration, story, emotion, motivation, and making sure the logic is clear of like, here's how this happened. For one of our clients, you tell a success story. They had this amazing transformation, and these are the components that we give them or gave them to make this, to get to the result and get across, the bridge all the way to where you want to be.
Yeah, and that's so important for, like I was saying, like making sure the value is crystal clear. And so if the more that they understand that it is valuable, whether it saves them time or money or any other pain that they have, that's where the truly good offers come into play. So I love that. Another one, and again, it ties in everything we're saying, is that your offer is measurably better than any alternatives. Your offer should either be more affordable, faster, or even more efficient than what your audience is already doing. It has to be better. It has to be really good. If you can put the numbers into the savings, like cut costs by 30% or save 10 hours a week, even better, because you're highlighting real world stories of it saving time or saving somebody money, right?
Yeah, it's definitely, you need to be able to quantify how they're going to get there compared to their state. So when you think about the coaching industry, and if you're coaching, somebody on financial freedom,
Mm-hmm.
as an example, they can go out and do the self-discovery and do the learning and try and fail what system or budgeting method or app or tool they want to use, and they're going to spend a bunch of time there, and they'll probably struggle or get stuck or not reach their goals, and so that's time and money lost. But if in your offer you explain all you have to do is meet with me for 30 minutes a week and use a simple tool that's going to take you 20 minutes a week, you don't have to go find all that information. You have
Yeah.
the assurance that I'm going to guide you through it. Then they can see that clarity of path of like, oh, instead of doing it on my own, which is overwhelming, I'll take missteps. If I, work with this person, or, in the case of a product, I have this product or this tool, it's going to be faster, clearer. You want to be able to contrast against their current state or path they're trying to take versus, what path they can take with your product or service.
Yeah, I love that. And it I keep saying this, but it's so true. You always take the words out of my mouth, I swear. But it ties into my next point, is that it feels like a no-brainer, right? A great offer makes people think, why wouldn't I do this? What reason do I have to not invest in this or not check this out? So whether it's a massive time saver or like an unbeatable deal, like they're getting such a tremendous monetary value, or even like an effortless way to meet the goals that they're having this year, your offer should make saying yes feel seamless, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, yeah, go ahead and share any thoughts you might have on that one.
Yeah, it's just when you find that an offer's not working, like I put an offer out about a year and a half ago that didn't work. It worked a little bit, but we didn't get momentum in it.
Yeah.
And the reason that I uncovered is I had there was a big gap in my thinking. I didn't really put myself in our clients' shoes, and so some people did join and sign up and take us up on the offer. But what I figured out is that I had not removed the complexity or the time investment for them, and so there wasn't exceptionally high value. It was really hard. There was too much friction. So if you have an offer that doesn't work at all, then the way you're communicating it, like if nobody converts, the way you're communicating it is not helpful. And then if you have an offer that's working some of the time, but people are dropping out, or you're not like building the number of customers you want to bring into the product or service, then you have to look inside of it and see in how we're delivering the offer. That's also part of the marketing, the offer positioning, and say like, are we saving people time and money, or is there complexity or friction? If you can remove the complexity and friction, they'll be able to see the path and see themselves progressing easier and engage better. And that's just really key to really evaluate things truly from your customer's perspective and go through your offers and all your steps and your lead magnets and all the way into the delivery. Like look at each step of how you're delivering the offer too, and see if it's actually saving time and money, or if there's friction points that you weren't aware of.
Yeah, and you did it again. I can't believe this. My last point today was it reduces complexity, which you seamlessly integrated into that, which it's so true, right? Like, people are willing to pay for simplicity, right? If you remove extra steps, or even just like automate tedious work, or just in general make life easier for people, it instantly becomes more appealing. And that's a lot of what we took into consideration when like you said, we had an offer that worked somewhat, but we had a lot of learnings and some friction in it. But we took a lot of those and put that into our new offer, right? By making it simpler, making it more time efficient for the business owners, and saving them more money in the long run, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, you touched on that one. So reducing complexity is really, really big when it comes to offer creation. And then the last tip that I have, might arguably be the most important one, excuse me, is that it addresses an urgent need. The best offers solve problems that people need fixed right now. They are in pain. They're currently searching up ways to alleviate that pain. So if your offer removes a pressing frustration or an inefficiency in their business, it becomes much easier to position to them, right?
Yeah, and that's where like understanding the psychology of the customers, the people that you serve is important, because what you think is painful or uncomfortable or a high importance problem to solve may or may not be really what your audience wants. And that's where market research is so crucial, because you need to understand exactly what kind of lifestyle they're living professionally, personally, wherever the offer falls, and then determine like, is this ultimately going to be clear and simple? Because simplicity is the ultimate sophistication, and that's why you always want to simplify things. But if you can contrast where they're currently at with complexity or frustration or struggle, and say that here's a very clear, simple, logical path, and here's the stories, the emotion around the people that have tried this and used this, then the urgency will be self-generated. And that's how you want urgency to be whenever possible. There is times where there's real ethical urgency. You only have 100 units, or you only have X amount of capacity, and that's ethical urgency used well. But you can drive even higher levels of urgency when you really know your audience, and you can paint the picture and say, I understand you're probably in this state of frustration or stuck, or wherever you're at, and you have all this friction, and here's a clear contrast to that. If you make this investment that will pay you over and over, you can have this clear, simple path to solving the problem. And that's really what creates urgency.
Yeah, and that's real value, right? You're not digging into their pain. You're really trying hard to alleviate that at the right time for the people that are investing in what you do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll go over them one more time, because these are all super important, folks. It's when you have a good offer, it does these 6 things very, very well. It solves a costly problem. The value is crystal clear. It is measurably, that's the important part, measurably better than any other alternatives. It also feels like a no-brainer. They feel like it really is the right decision. They're completely aligned. It addresses an urgent need, which we talked about is very important, and then it reduces complexity. It's not overly complicated. It's simple and effortless for them to invest in something like that. So those are the 6 key points that we have when it comes to offer creation. And if this is really complicated, guys, we can help you out. If your offer, I'm curious, is your offer strong enough? I would love to talk to you about it and see what you're doing right now, see if there are any gaps to fill. If your offer isn't converting as well as you'd like, or if you're just not sure if it's positioned as well as it could be, we have a link in the description where you can chat with me directly. I have tons of experience in checking out offers for new and existing clients, and I would love to see what you guys have going on in 2025. And so next, it wouldn't be an episode without talking about our win for the week, and we have a really awesome one this week. So we have a client that works in government contracting. He's a really, really great guy. And recently we delivered a marketing plan to him that not only met but exceeded his expectations. And that's really crucial because we've been working with him for years, and he's been a good friend of Gabe for years as well. So we continue to just crush those barriers and really, really show up and serve. But before I dive into a little bit more about the win, can you tell a little bit more about your relationship with Tom?
Yeah, so I've known Tom for years, and we've done a lot of business together. And Tom came in through an offer I made long ago on a live training or a workshop. And what's awesome about this is that all businesses are going to face massive industry changes, and I've been through so many of them. It doesn't matter what space you're in; you're always going to end up in a position where something dramatic is going to change in the industry outside your control, and that's a great opportunity to pivot and adjust. And we've helped so many clients through whether they're facing, internal economic challenges in their business. We're able to help to reposition and reallocate resources and help them build up, more incoming leads and the right technology and help them solve the problems. Or when an industry changes and we're in an economic and political cycle where government contracting and government things are changing. And while that can be scary if you don't have a team of people to help you, in Tom's case, what's awesome is we've been able to just step in and serve him and show him these other opportunities he has. And I know he's going to shift and grow. And that's the advantage of partnering with people that really care about you, really care about the relationship that, they have with you. And Tom has been such an amazing partner client for years. And so we're so thrilled that in a season that's going to be really hard for a bunch of people in his industry, he has a path forward, and it's going to be a season of growth, and it's going to be a great opportunity. So I'm really grateful for Tom and his partnership with us.
Truly, I'm so glad that we can still show up and serve him. I'll talk a little bit about my experience. I've been on Tom's podcast myself, and he's just a great down-to-earth guy, and he's really aligned with our values, and that's what we really look for. And that's why the longevity of him with us has lasted so long, because we continue to show up and serve, and he has the right attitude to work with us. He's a really, really great guy, and so I'm super glad that we were able to continue to show up and serve in this season of uncertainty for him, especially in switching the way our services work for him as well. And I wanted to talk a little bit as we wrap up here about how we did it for Tom. So whenever we partner with a new client, one of the very first things we do is take a look at their goals and sort of lay out the exact steps that they need to take to reach them, right? See where they're at, where they want to go. Not only does this minimize the amount of ideas entrepreneurs have to filter through, Gabe and other entrepreneurs, but it also helps them make that path to success super clear. That's a part of what we do. That's the leadership that we offer as a team. Tom was extremely thrilled, to say the least. He wanted to make sure that we would be a part of the ongoing business journey, especially in the season of growth and change for him. So he signed up immediately once we presented this to him, because it felt so aligned. And that's exactly what we were talking about today is proper offer creation. We built that relationship with him through years of hard work, and when we had something new that he was interested in, it felt like a no-brainer to him because we were so aligned with him, we're so involved in his business. So he signed up, and we're so happy to be able to continue to show up and serve him. And also, just another thing, a huge kudos to our team, right? Our internal team is just so excellent at what they do. They show up and provide exceptional work and build long-lasting relationships with clients that continue to just last and last. And so I'm so proud of everybody involved with him. But yeah, that's what we have for you guys today. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up for us. It would sure help us out, especially over there on YouTube. Share it with your friends. We always like to speak to new business owners, new entrepreneurs, and anybody in between. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It helps out a lot. We put out a new podcast episode every single Friday, and we would love to have you join the BME family. Also, if you want a team of dedicated experts working around the clock for your business, check out the link below to book a call with me. I would love to chat with you and learn more about what you've been doing in 2025. Also, if you would like to see the exact process that we use to generate results like we have with Tom, we have a free download below for our 7-figure sales funnel guide, which is really, really cool. And I urge you guys to check that out. And finally, if you would like to join our free newsletter where we put out awesome tips, resources, and strategies to help grow your business, we have a link below as well. We put out a new newsletter every week as well. But that is going to wrap up our time today, folks. I hope you all enjoyed the episode. Gabe, it was great to see you, and I hope you have a great week, everybody.
Have a good week, everybody. See you soon.
See ya.